I thought that was a good team win. I thought all three phases played well, prepared well. Coaches did an outstanding job with the game plans.
What was the difference offensively for you guys? You were able to finally get the running game going after.
Well, we established the run, and we committed to it. Those guys, they started out that way at the beginning of the season, and so I knew they could do it. They did it last year. It was just giving them enough opportunities.
It seemed like you guys played faster offensively too. The play was getting in faster. Was that a point of emphasis?
It was a point of emphasis. If you look at when we've moved the ball down the field and been the most efficient, a lot of times it's when we're in our no-huddle offense. So we decided to go with that a little bit today.
Was there a point where you had to help out Shane, or was it pretty much him on his own?
No, Shane did an outstanding job. Like I say, I'm always going to get involved, but Shane, he would never have to look over his shoulder and call plays. He did an outstanding job today. I thought he was aggressive when he needed to be aggressive, and he did a good job establishing a run when he had to.
There was a point there in the second quarter where you guys had to burn a timeout where it looked like there might have been a difference of opinion. Was it just slow getting the play call in? Or?
No, that happens. Yeah, sometimes you change your mind on the play or whatnot, or the communication could have been bad between the quarterback and Shane, but it happens.
How do you feel Shane handled the situation today?
I thought he did an outstanding job. He really did. He prepared well all week, and the players have a lot of confidence in him, the coaching staff, and the whole offensive coaching staff did a good job. We're one man short right now, but everyone stepped up and did what they had to do to get this win today.
Why do the players have a lot of confidence in Shane?
When you're around him, his work ethic, his energy, his passion for this game. He knows what he's doing. He's a good young coach. He's going to be around for a long time.
During the week, when did you know that you could kind of turn the reins over to him and let him take over?
Well, I would have never made the decision if I didn't think I could have turned the reins over to him. And like I said, he has plenty of help. It's not just Shane. Pat Myers on the offensive line, Rip Shear, a lot of experience, at tight end. And Phil at running backs, Alfredo at running backs, and Phil, they do a good job. So we have a good staff.
How much did having the full complement of running backs, Justin Jackson, Eckler, and obviously Gordon in the game, help the offense?
Anytime we can have all those guys healthy and ready to go, it helps. But we've always had a good 1-2 combination when it was Jackson and Eckler, and when it's Gordon and Eckler. That combination have always been good.
Can you touch on the decision to go for it? It was 4th and 2 at the goal late in the third quarter, I believe.
The 4th and 1? Well, again, I want 4th and 1. We had a chance, to extend the lead, get a touchdown, make a statement, and we did it.
Was some of that maybe to kind of exercise the demons from Detroit and Tennessee when you had the ball?
Well, I wasn't necessarily thinking about Detroit and Tennessee. I was thinking about extending the lead on Aaron Rodgers. But I felt the guys were moving the ball all day, and I liked the rhythm that the offensive line was in. They did a heck of a job, the offensive line, of coming off and creating running lanes for those backs, and they gained a yard. Anytime the offensive line gained a yard, the back should get a yard.
Anthony, to that point, what did you see? Because the inside run game was just consistently working. What did you see to kind of stick with it and not even try to bounce too much stuff outside?
I saw those guys. They just, their technique, their urgency to come off on the ball, to move people, they just did a heck of a job of that. And they knew the importance of establishing the run in this game. You had to control the time of possession because Aaron Rodgers, he's just too good to give him too much time.
What was the game plan defensively? I think he held them to 90 total yards through 3 quarters. What was the game plan against Aaron?
Well, Gus did a good job of mixing it, with zone and man coverage and just disguising, some of our zone coverages. And the pass rush was excellent. I thought Joey, Melvin, there was some inside push with the interior guys. I thought they did an excellent job today.
You guys didn't have to blitz to get that pressure with that forward?
That's really important because you can have more guys in coverage anytime you can get there with a 4-man rush. But we did a good job of mixing that with 4-man, 5-man, and even some 3-man rushes.
What do you credit the victory to?
Just preparation. Just guys believing in one another. And the second half of our season, we want to finish strong. And today was the first game of the third quarter, and we prepared to win, and we did.
How important was it getting this first game going into the second half of the season with where you guys wanted to get?
At 3-5, it's very important. Every game is very important, and we take them one at a time.
Well, just a collective effort. We weren't perfect by any means. We didn't turn it over. To me, the keys today were don't turn it over and score in the red zone. and sustain drives. Don't give these guys the ball too much. Don't let Aaron be on the field too much. And that was a combination of our defense doing a great job and us staying on the field and getting first downs. But we got to do a better job in the red zone. I was afraid those field goals early were going to hurt us. Look up and it's 9-0. After we really felt like we dominated the first half. I don't know how many offensive plays they had in the first half, maybe 15. But we look up and it's 9-0. But we did a better job of getting in the end zone in the second half, and turned out to be enough. And our defense was awesome. What do you think?
Let me ask this before. Does it almost feel like it's you guys against the world out there, games like this?
I mean, a little bit in the sense of obviously the Pittsburgh fan support and Green Bay, but those are teams that are, gosh, they're just old school NFL. Those fans are everywhere. So I've gotten a little bit of that my whole career. When it's a smaller venue, it magnifies a little more. But we got up. I think when we scored after they had the offsides and we ended up going back out there and scoring. It kind of you saw some energy from the Charger faithful. You saw some energy and some noise. So it was a good team win. It's from that standpoint, it's where we are right now, and we haven't had the start we wanted. Last year, as the year went, it got better and better, and we just got to control what we can control, and that's between the lines. And I think for whatever reason, we do better when it's a little bit. The Chargers don't have a chance. I don't know why. I wish we did better when everybody thought we were really good, like they thought we were going into the season. But I don't know that anybody gave us a chance today. And the guys went out all three phases and did a heck of a job.
Well, how did it feel to finally be on schedule on first and second down? Your play success was off the
Yeah, it was great. It was great, and how balanced we were. But I think you saw that for the most part of last year, So and in spurts this year. I mean, against Detroit, I felt like we went up and down the field, balanced and ran it and did all that. So, I don't want it to. By any means, was it not just we just changed completely and we're a new Chargers team, because that's just not the case. We executed better today. I thought Shane in his first outing obviously did a heck of a job, but we out-executed them, and I think that was the difference. You look at some of these other games where we should have won maybe. If we execute better, we could have won those, but we just out-executed them today, and it was enough to win.
How important was that first drive? I mean, you're backed up to your own 5 after penalties, but you control the clock for 8 minutes.
90 yards, 8 minutes. Obviously, we wanted to get in the end zone. That was you just walked in. When I said the keys. One of the big keys was score touchdowns in the red zone, and we didn't do that early. But that was a huge drive, and then we got to stop, and then we went right back down there again. I think they had 5 plays in the first quarter, their offense. So that was key. We were playing keep away in a sense, but we weren't. It wasn't because we wanted to be conservative. We were going after it, but we knew sustaining drives was super important. And then when the defense is playing that way and you keep getting it right back, you definitely can stay in a little bit of a rhythm.
Melvin Gordon is kind of like Melvin Gordon again. Russell is back. How much is that? Is it obvious it is?
I think, yeah. Obviously, those are 2 Pro Bowl players for us, so it is great to have those guys back. And Russell will get more and more in the groove as he goes, and Melvin will as well. I just thought Melvin, the physicality of Melvin was there today. You saw him at the 2, 3, 4 yard mark. If there was contact, he was delivering the contact, and that's when he's rolling too. So it takes some time. I mean, I've said it forever with running backs. You got to get in sync. I mean, we would just now be finishing training camp. And not only did he not have training camp, he didn't have the off season either. So I mean, he hadn't had a live carry since January 20th until 4 weeks ago. So he's going to continue to get rolling. I thought Eckler ran it well too. JJ got a couple snaps as well. So we got a chance right now to get a little bit of a roll. You always hear about players complaining about Thursday games. I'm glad it's on Thursday. Hopefully we can keep this kind of ride this wave a little bit against a tough Oakland team. At their place. Last time ever playing in the Coliseum. So our guys will be fired up for that. And then we know what comes after that on a trip to Mexico City. So, gosh, we should have won a couple games early. We would be feeling a heck of a lot better. But we're in a position to at least be in the mix. And we'll know more in 5 days where we stand.
Do you like 2 years ago or 2 years past back in San Diego when you guys started slow and you were getting that momentum?
Well, I hope we can. We got to continue, and we know it's a tough, division this week, division Kansas City, and then division. I think coming right after the bye in Denver, and then we got a road trip to Jacksonville and Minnesota's coming here. I mean, we got a tough road ahead, but it does feel a little bit like maybe 2 years ago when we started off slow and then we got going and finished 9-7 just short. So hopefully we can string together. But it's early. I mean, we're talking about one game, but against a team that was hot. It was one of the top teams in the league based on the last few weeks. So it is a good win for us.
Philip, I know it was just one game. Do you guys feel like you kind of rediscovered your identity on offense, kind of what worked?
Well, I think based on what this defense was giving us, we just stayed with it. I mean, you saw us in the same formation. I don't know, maybe 25 snaps. We were in 3 receivers and a tight end, and it was just. We kept getting the same look and kept getting the same look and kept getting the same look. And I think we just said, well, then let's just keep doing the same thing. And so, obviously, games won't always be like that. Teams are going to start blitzing and doing some different things, but they continue just to kind of hold tight and hang in there. And obviously, I'm sure they were hoping keep kicking field goals, and then when their offense gets rolling, we'll look up and it'll be 16-12, 14-12 their way. I'm sure that's what they thought, just keep holding us to field goals. But our defense kept doing such an unbelievable job that it was enough.
What about your quarterbacks? You said during the week you watched quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers over the years. Pretty uncharacteristic to see an offense led by him struggle the way they did.
Well, I think that happens to everybody, obviously, and we all too know that it's not just one guy. And I think what I'd say, what I've said in games when things don't go as well is there's a defense over there, and that was our defense today. And between the pass rush and the coverage, they did a heck of a job. I think credit to our defense whenever you hold an offense led by him to that many points, to a few points like they did today. But again, that's why you play the game. But he's a heck of a player. I mean, he makes some unbelievable plays and throws the ball as far as I just saw a couple today that they ended up incomplete. But I wonder what that feels like to throw it that far because I certainly don't know.
What do you think a victory like this can do for you guys moving forward?
We'll find out on Thursday. We don't have much time to wait. I mean, on to Oakland, as I've heard someone say famously. On to the next one. We got to go. Find a way to get to what would that get us to? 5-5. Find a way to get us to 5-5, and then a division game against Kansas City, and Oakland's right there with us. They're in that same boat with find a way to stay right here in the mix. So last time in Oakland for us. So it'll be an awesome environment on Thursday night, and we got to rest up and get ready to go.
How does it feel?
Last question.
How does it feel to get a win over Green Bay? I think there's now down to only 2 teams you have to beat.
Yeah, that was good. In 07 there against Favre, it was he threw a slant with about 4 minutes left to beat us, and then in 2011 I threw back-to-back pick sixes at some point in that game and got beat, and then in 15 we threw it 65 times and got beat 27-20. So it was nice to win the game, especially a team that was 7-1 and playing well.
Are you going to run the table all the way to the playoffs?
Well, certainly, we'll see. It could take that, but it's one at a time. Thankfully, we don't play them all Thursday. We just got one on Thursday. See if we can keep stringing them together.
Well, obviously a balanced performance today, but what do you credit this victory to?
Like I said, the O-line, everybody on offense, everybody plays a part, as far as it's down to the tight ends, like I said, the tight ends, the fullback, the quarterback, making the right call, the O-line, everybody contributes and makes a difference. So I can't just say I contribute to this one person when it's the whole team that helps.
Good turnaround on Thursday up against the Raiders. How nice is it coming up a win to play a couple of days later?
It feels good. It's always better coming off a win. Everything is, the tension is always, it's always better. Less tension around everywhere, facility, everything. With the guys, after a W, we just got to keep stacking.
This is a complete game. The defense, the offense, special teams with the field goals. Talk about the entire play in this game.
Yeah, I mean we play well. We play well, but it's crazy because I feel like we could play better. I just feel like the sky's the limit for us, and I just feel like we got down there and we made a lot of field goals. That's going unnoticed right now because we won. But those field goals that we had, we got to convert those into scores. We got to get those, and we know we can do it as a team. So that's something we can work on.
You mentioned getting enough reps. Do you feel you're finally back at 100% or not quite yet?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Like I said, I missed a lot of football, man, and they've been doing a great job, in practice trying to get me as, acclimated, getting me as many reps to, catch me back up. But I'm getting settled in.
Is it overly simplistic to say that the change in coordinator, Shane, really helped free up the running game today?
Yeah, you could definitely say that. He called a hell of a game. And I know, like I said, it was eating at him that we didn't score. We got down there and we didn't score. But that's good. That's something that we can work on. He can work on. That's something we can build on. You never want to leave a game being complacent. And I know that's probably eating at him as much as people like, oh, he called a great game. I know that he's probably like, man, we got to score. Like I said, it's just something to work on and build on. So, but he did a good job.
In the fourth quarter, it's 4th and 1. They let you try to get in the end zone. Was that something for you? Were you thinking, okay, we can kind of get rid of what happened in Tennessee, and maybe for the team, get rid of what happened in Detroit, and actually get in from the one?
I didn't think about Tennessee at all, to be honest. Coach told me after the Tennessee game, he said, don't worry about that. When I was running off the field, he said, we're going to come back to you if we're ever in a situation like that again. And, a couple weeks later, here we are. So, you can't really, let that bring you down. I'm a fighter, like I said, so if I get in a situation again, I'm going to definitely try to make the best of it.
Yeah. I think that's obviously everybody played well today, but at the same time we ran the football well. So it makes our jobs a little easier when you're able to rush like we did today. All right, bro.
Changes were obviously made this week, but what can you just talk about the rally and say about the rally of this team?
We got a lot of tough dudes in here. So a lot of guys have been through a lot, and it was good to go out there and play for Shane this week. I thought he called a great game, and it was just fun to have a rhythm and flow.
I was talking to Casey. Did it feel like this was really a complete game that you guys all put together today?
Heck yeah. Obviously, we would like to score some more points in the red zone. We had a lot of opportunities in the red zone, a lot of field goals there. But at the same time, our defense kind of picked us up, played well. Our special teams played really well, too. I can't talk enough about the special teams. So, complete game and very exciting moving forward.
Short week this week. Take a moment to kind of savor it, but then put it behind you pretty quick for Oakland on Thursday.
Yeah, for sure. Big game coming up. Division game. Anytime you play a division game, it's big. And, every game from here on out is big for us. So I think everybody will be excited to go.
All right, I'm joined by Casey Hayward. Casey, you guys got a win against your former team today. How would you describe this win?
I thought it was, pretty good. On defense, we played a really good game. We had some guys that played with a lot of energy, and then we played complementary ball. Offense did a great job of moving the ball. I think the time possession was in our favor. We didn't turn the ball over, and special teams played great. So we played complementary ball, and that's what it's about.
You know Aaron Rodgers so well, so what was the key to containing him today?
Oh, man, just try to limit him. I think our guys up front did a great job stopping the run, getting to the quarterback. Those you got to do in this league, get some sacks and limit the big plays, and that's what we did.
Did it feel like this team kind of played a full, complete game today?
It felt like it. I feel like the whole season, this is probably our most complete game against a really good team. They got a really good defense and a really good offense, and they've been clicking on all cylinders for the last, for the past 4 or 5 weeks. And we did a great job of slowing that offense down and doing a good job against their defense. And that's what it's about. We try to say if we can outplay their offense, because we play defense. If we can outplay their offense and outplay their defense, we got a chance to win this game, and that's what we did today.
And then lastly, what can a win for this team and like that do on a short week?
Oh, man, it feels good. Going to always feel good to win. But we got another one coming up against Oakland. But they played today too. I'm not sure if they won. They won, and it's gonna be a brawl. It's gonna be a fight. It's a division game. I always play that team tough. Derek Carr got that team rolling, and hopefully we can come out with a win going to Oakland.
Defensively, that looked like the best game you guys have played since the playoff win last year. Is
Yeah.
that accurate? And if so, why did you guys play so well?
Well, it was the game today, and it's the most recent game, and that's what you want to do. You want to be playing your good ball right now. You know what I mean? And we're playing some good ball right now. Like I said to him, the offense was rolling down the field, putting 3 or some type of points on the board, and as a defense, that just gives you so much energy. To see those guys taking 8 minutes off the clock, man, you just go out there with a whole nother attitude, a whole nother intensity, and if we can continue to get in situations like that, we'll be a hard team to beat.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but confidence builder, not just to get a win, but to do it against a good team.
For sure. I mean, it's Green Bay. That speaks for itself. Yeah.
How'd you take Jones out of the game? 30 yards, one catch, the running back?
Yeah. Well, we understood who he was, you know what I mean? And we just tried to stay stout up front, take the double teams seriously, so our linebackers can scrape over the top and make plays, and they did that. That guy is really special. When I watched him on film, I was really impressed with him. Based on some of the backs that I played against this year, that guy has a bright future in this league. But today, we were able to put a wrap on him.
Do you think the sacks by Joey and Melvin, first 2 possessions of the game, does that kind of set a tone?
Yeah, it set a tone because I'm sure the offensive coordinator has to change the way he's going about the game plan. You know what I mean? He probably wanted to come out and sling the ball around based on, the amount of sacks that they've given up this year and the success that they have and who he has at quarterback. But for Joey to come out, was that the first series?
Yeah.
And get a sack, I'm sure that changes the potential of what they might do in the game, and they got to go to something else. And also, when the offense is taking 10 minutes off the clock, you got to do something else with your game plan. So shout out to Big Phil and those guys for helping us out.
Come on, Bull fans, you want some more of this? Click subscribe, hit this button right here. Click this button right here and you can get all of this that you want. Come on, Bull fans.